I would say that I'm an American, I'm a Wyomingite, and I'm a Democrat in that order. And I voted on the first two. I crossed over to vote on the first two because I think there's some things bigger than politics.
Have you ever done that in the state since you've been governor?
Not crossed over.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be the first Republican I voted for, but I've never crossed
See
over in
the
a
things
primary.
we're finding out? Well, so what does it all mean so far? Early voting is kind of odd. Some things are skewed in that. Sometimes more conservative voters kind of come forward, but it has Harriet Hageman out with what, 53%, and Liz Cheney with
45
yeah.
or 44. But all you can say is they don't poll early voting.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter at the end.
Well, we understand there were long lines at the fairgrounds, and that's always good to hear that people are voting in droves, no matter how they are exercising their civic responsibility. And what are some other races that we're looking at?
Secretary of State's race, I think, is a real hot one right now.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
At least in Turner County results are
So
pretty
what's
close.
it showing right now?
Right now it shows Tara Nethercutt.
Ahead by about 100 votes.
Yeah.
So that could be tight all night long.
Correct.
We've got the city council and commission races that are out there. What do you think voters are thinking about as they go to the polls?
Why am I waiting online in Wyoming?
Yeah, I could have voted 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly.
And most of them are thinking about the House of Representatives race, probably like everybody else in the country.
Well, certainly we had more journalists from around the country that, we went to an event, we saw somebody from a French paper and somebody from PBS.
Jackson.
Canadian Broadcasting,
Fox is
UK,
here.
Japan.
Wow. This is exciting. As long as they're dropping coins in Wyoming's tourism budget, we love that. We like the excitement. When was the last sort of excitement we had for this kind of national attention, do you think?
Whenever Dick Cheney was running for governor, for vice president, with George Bush. And that was big time. Got a lot of attention there. In fact, whenever they picked Cheney, the very next day they showed up here and went to Nechona County where Dick Cheney graduated from high school.
I talked to voters coming in at all kinds of attitudes, from this is why I changed to vote for somebody, and we also had views of we had to do the right thing and shake up the system. So I've heard a little bit of everything. I've seen grandchildren that were taken to the polls and shown just what our system is like. Is our system intact, sir?
Well, it is, but it's frayed on the edges a bit.
Voter integrity was one of the things that we've heard along the way, and yet we haven't had that many things that have come up in recent history.
I think Wyoming's very much intact. I think we have a good voting system. I think it's worked well over the years. They even tighten it up now with voter ID. That I think it works very well.
I would agree.
Along with the other 49 states.
Yeah, the 49 states
Yeah, the rest of
are
them
all
do.
doing pretty good, and they're all just as concerned about integrity of voting as we are.
I saw the system working pretty fluid-like with the driver's licenses and all that sort of stuff. Are we all at peace with that? Because some have thought that was too much to ask for. But many states, most states, you do have to show a picture ID.
Right. Well, and you also, with absentee ballots, you have to either show that you're bedridden to get a ballot, or you have to have someone give them your ID and voted in the past election. So it doesn't just automatically go out.
Politico, the magazine and online service on politics, came out last week and said Liz Cheney should give the concession speech right now. Here, I'll write it for you. Pretty wild to see that, but they thought maybe she was concentrating on running for president. since the poll figures look so bad in the beginning. But y'all are you holding off on what you think is going to happen tonight?
Well, I think it was interesting. I found out today she actually did not do a number of events in the state because of security concerns. And to me, back to your comment on election integrity, that's pretty frightening that a candidate running for office cannot meet the voters, talk to the voters because of security concerns. I think that's something we should all be appalled about.
I agree. And then even worse, it's used as a reason not to vote for her because she couldn't do events.
Should she have brought in her dad a little bit earlier in the campaign in terms of his notoriety and what he could throw?
It's hard to say. I can't tell you. It's going to be interesting to see. These are preliminary results. We'll know in probably 30, 40 minutes where we stand in this state, or at least in Sonoma County, I should say.
I think one of the best ones she did was Senator Simpson. I thought that was a very effective advocate for her. I think your own remarks were also very effective to get people to see the bigger picture.
Thank you.
With this primary.
Well, how can you can second? I mean, everybody second guessed everybody, but I thought Dick Cheney's ad was powerful. Whether it moved anybody at that point is anybody's question.
Hey, we thank you all for talking with us, and some of you will stick around for more broadcasts, but we appreciate you coming down to the Spirits Lounge at the Ramkota and doing election night.
It'll be an interesting evening.